Alright, so day 3 of the video blog. Today, something that's on my mind is having things to look forward to. I think it's a really good way to motivate yourself. And today, for instance, I'm really fortunate because I'm looking forward to going to a fantastic dinner tonight. My roommate shipped the Party Poker Major yesterday or Sunday for like 40K. So he's taking us all to dinner at this duck spot we go to. We always get a big group and kind of go family style and just order a bunch of food, and it's delicious. And I'm just really excited for it, especially because he's paying for it. So, I mean, that's not especially why, but it doesn't hurt. So, I have that to look forward to today. I'm going to find it a little bit easier to get down to work because I know I'm going to get out of the house and, for at least 2 hours, going to be hanging out with, 7 or 8 of my best friends in this city and just, having a great meal. So that's going to be pretty dope, and I'm excited for it. Last night, for instance, I was, 4 or 5 hours into my session, and one of my friends had mentioned he wanted to go out to Morrison's, which is a club around here that has, a lot of students and a lot of young people. And I'm not really drinking right now, but I still feel like I should leave the house and stuff and get out and try to maintain a social life during this bet, so I'll be happy. And basically, once I said, yeah, I'll go, I just need another couple hours to finish up here, the last couple hours of my session were much easier to get through because I had something to look forward to. And to be honest, last night out actually sucked. It was by the time I got done, which is my own fault for being a late starter, I didn't get done till 2 a.m. and going out at 2 is kind of the pits. But, whatever. It'll motivate me hopefully to next Monday start work 2 hours earlier and go out at midnight, And even if I'm not drinking, so I can get up and work the next day, I mean, I still have a good time going out. I like getting fresh air, walking around, seeing people, talking to people, so it's good. I'm happy about that. And beyond having things to look forward to, I think another thing that's important, especially in poker, but just generally in life, is prevailing mindsets. For instance, in my own experience, I definitely had situations where I thought other players that I was playing against were, it felt personal when they would, peel my 3-bets extra light or defend their big blind insanely light or 3-bet me really wide. Just basically the way they played back at me made me feel disrespected about my game, or they thought that I was a weak enough player that they could play this way that is so far from standard and what would seem profitable. I took it personal. And I think that's kind of a self-weakness. If I'm confident in my game and somebody plays in a manner that I think my game destroys or beats or whatever, I should be happy about that. And I think it's something I just had to get over my ego a lot, and I mean that certainly happened for me this year. I definitely feel like I've gotten over my ego to a large extent. I mean, obviously it's a lifelong process, but it's something I'm working on. And now that it's something really interesting happening. There was a specific player in particular that I talked to him last year, and he wished me a lot of luck in my finishing elite last year. And, was interested to talk to me and said he was thinking about going for elite this year. And he's a real nice guy. And then I played with him a lot this year, and I thought at the tables he was a complete dick. He just constantly played in a manner that really kind of bugged me. And that, that's kind of dumb that I got annoyed by it. Yesterday he wished me luck in my bet, and I thought to myself, this whole nonsense is in my head. This guy doesn't have any personal animosity toward me. Far from it. I think he likes me, as a friend. And here I am getting all upset about the way he's playing against me, probably because I think he's good, and if he's playing this way, it makes me think maybe there's something wrong with my game. But the issue isn't a personal problem between me and this other player. The issue is, a lack of confidence in my game, which I can solve by, spending time studying and spending time working on my game. If anything, I should be thankful for somebody pointing out, even if I don't think his adaptation to my, area that I can be exploited is a good one, it's still pointing out, hey, I noticed this about your game. If I'm 3-betting you with, 10 high, I've noticed that you're opening too wide, whatever it is. So in this regard, I kind of invented this BS, personal vendetta that made me play worse. And that's something I'm going to strive very hard not to do anymore. I think I've made a ton of leaps and bounds in that area this year, but it still happened. And that was, the one player that I remember, and, I've always, when I see him at the tables, I'm like, oh, this guy, we're going to go to war. And, that's just dumb. It's bad for me. It's bad for him. It's probably good for everybody else, but I don't want to think like that anymore. And it really, I try to be the bigger person in a lot of situations in life, and in this one, I was like, damn, I was being a really small-minded person. So I'm really happy that happened. I noticed I block chat for people all the time. Like most of the people in chat who type to me and swear to me, like I just see star, 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 star. Like I just don't care. But it's kind of funny. Like their prevailing mindset when they play poker must make them miserable. They think everybody's a dick. They hate everyone. Like it's just like no way to play. I have much more of a smile on my face lately because when I'm playing, even though like we're playing the same against everybody, I feel like the other regs are sort of my coworkers. Like I'm speaking like obviously I play as competitively as possible against everyone, but at the same time like we all go through the same shit. Like we're all doing the same thing. And it's like mutual respect, and it's a much nicer working environment when you kind of respect your colleagues, even if they are kind of forced into being your adversaries, of course, like I don't really try to, I think being too competitive is kind of an ego thing, but we're all there trying to make money, and I definitely think that having this kind of mutual respect and, thinking about things logically and not taking things personally is the way to go. I don't know if that works for everybody. I don't know how hard of a struggle it is for everybody. I know my roommate is having a fantastic year this year, but I'll tell you what, if you were a fly on the wall in our apartment, you would think our graphs were reversed. I mean, he'll have like a 4 or 5K winning day, but if you sat behind him and listened to him play, you'd think he lost half his bankroll. Just doesn't handle it well. But I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe that works for him. I had a friend who would get really angry every time a fish would play badly, but he said he got his anger out and he would leave the poker table and just like let it all go. For me, I kind of strive for this like zen, whatever happens, I'm not affected, Ideally, if I, make a correct play heads up in the Sunday Million and, get my opponent to put his money in bad and he wins, then, I shouldn't even react. But I don't know if that's what most people even strive for. I mean, that's kind of takes the fun out of poker. People say to play where it burns a little bit and be excited when you're doing well. And, I don't know. I kind of don't really take that approach anymore. I just kind of take a very logical and math-oriented and, philosophically zen perspective to poker. And I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's definitely got me through a difficult year, and I'm hoping to keep that as I do well. I think that staying humble, because it is my belief that likely I will, have a heater again in my career. Not that heater is really a real thing, but I think that when I'm having results, when it happens to occur the day after day, my results are above expectation. I don't want that to go to my head like it has in the past. I want to keep my process intact. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep, realizing that other people are getting better too. One thing I've definitely noticed in the games this year is that a lot of players who I'm playing with now in lower stakes are much better than players I was playing with last year at this time in higher stakes. Not a knock on the players that I played with last year. Just people have worked hard and people have gotten better. People have improved more than I have in the last year, that's for sure. And, that's good to see. It's good for the poker community, I guess. It's not good for bottom lines, I guess, But maybe if it pushes some of us bright individuals who've been playing poker into other career paths, it could be good for the world and good for us. So it just is what it is. But I think having a prevailing mindset that's positive and not adversarial and not reactive to other people is really important in life and in poker. You should just kind of be firm in who you are, and if people say things that detract from you, if anything, it's an opportunity to see how staunchly you feel about the things that you put out there to the world. If somebody can say something to you and it just blows you away off course, I mean, you're kind of fragile, and maybe you should really reevaluate your stances. And if it doesn't matter to you, then all good. Thank you for your input, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up, but I did my best not to say I'm gonna have to rewatch this and see how I did. I've been trying not to say whenever I take a pause in conversation. If I could get over that, I'd probably be a much better communicator and public speaker as my life goes forward. On that note, anything that you guys notice that you think I could do better, please do let me know. I don't edit these, I don't rehearse these, I just talk, so I'm sure I'm making a lot of mistakes or have weird tendencies or whatever, but I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, definitely any criticism, constructive or otherwise, is always welcome. I'm not fragile, and I appreciate you guys watching. All right, here we go, day 3.